and welcome to Crystal Hall number 3 here in Baku, Azerbaijan.
They'll be back for later on. It's the second semi-final here of the women's 67 kilo category. This promises to be a big one. Really looking forward to this. It's a battle between the world number 2, Haby of France, gold medalist at the World Championships 2013, silver medalist at Europeans last year here in Baku, and she's up against the world number 4, Anastasiia Baryshnikova of Russia, who has also won multiple medals, gold medalist at Europeans in 2010, 2012, 2014, and bronze medalist at the Olympic Games. John, this will be interesting because Niare definitely fought a very careful quarter-final because she knew she needs to be absolutely on form for this particular bout.
The thing that, and it's an absolutely key point you've made there, the thing that I like about Haby is that she has gears that she can go to. She can step it up when she needs to. She knows how to ration out her energy, and she's going to have to against Baryshnikova. Baryshnikova a mover. She's got that balletic style, loves to cover a lot of the mat, and loves to give the opponent a lot of different angles. Haby, she's going to have to be on top form here. But what I like about her is she's a fighter for the big occasion.
Yeah. Baryshnikova, 24 years old. She was picking up gold medals when she was 19. Niare, only 21 herself, also picking up gold medals at 19.
And picking up a point there. Yeah, perfect push kicks from both fighters there. Haby just taking that as a counter-attack there with the front leg. Baryshnikova had a good solid start herself. The person more likely to kick to the head will be the French fighter in red. She has that flexibility off the front leg. Good attempt from Baryshnikova. Don't rule her out, of course. An enterprising start from both up.
John, I think we've seen more action from Niare in the first 30 seconds than we saw from the whole of her quarter-final. She lunged in about 7, 8, 9 attacks there. She was pretty much on the defensive in the quarter-final, just trying to conserve energy.
It's a fight. This is the thing, is you've got to subdue your opponent. Your opponent has the same desire, the same, will to win. They're looking to get into the final here, or to get a medal, or to cause problems. But the thing about it is you have to subdue your opponent. And the way you do that, obviously, is by kicking and punching them. The more you do that, the bigger the thought becomes, I don't like this. This is too difficult. What should I do? You start to doubt your game plan. That's the job of the opponent, is to make the other person's life a nightmare. Good front leg hooking kick there, just trying to fire that twisting shot around the guard of Baryshnikova. Good response though from the Russian. That was that second phase kick that we've talked about. Missed with the first, stabbed home the second.
And that's where Baryshnikova is such a great mover, isn't she? She really can, she held that balance, came in with the second phase, which not every fighter is able to do. There's, Niare is not one of those that hangs around with the second phase. She's a bit of a heavier fighter. She came off second best with that little encounter and nearly fell out of the ring. She did well to keep her balance.
Yep, she's certainly got the size and the strength, Haby. But at the moment, it's Baryshnikova with that agility. That's the tale of the two at the moment. And the Russian, for me, has got a tactic spot on, because we talk about, okay, the second phase, and this was the push kicks that they both shared at the start here. One from the Russian and one from the French fighter. But to stand and do what the Russian does here, one, and this is the second shot that I hope we'll get to see. She picks it up again. If you're going to stand on one leg and fire these kicks, and I think this is the replay here, 1, 2. To do that, when you have someone like Haby ready to kick you in the face, you see the focus on her face. She hasn't taken her eyes off the target. That means that you've dismissed your opponent. See, I'm not interested in what you're doing. I'm trying to kick this. That's the difference.
Yeah. Really interesting. Back in 2010, when both of these were starting out, Baryshnikova won the gold in the Europeans at the 73 kilo category. Niare won the gold at the 62, so a massive difference between them. And Niare actually looks like the heavier fighter here today.
Yep, she's athletic as well, Niare, just firing that left leg turning kick in under the guard of Baryshnikova. Good movement again from the Russian. She's going to have to be on her bike here in Baku, shifting it around, causing trouble to the French fighter. And it's Haby that steps round, looks for an angle, fires in that shot there, but takes a counter push kick. Push kick, of course, just literally as the name would suggest. As Niare does one, is just to push your opponent away with your foot. Far more prevalent now in Taekwondo than it has been, because if you're new to the sport, there are sensors on the bottom of the feet and on the instep, and if they connect with good contact and impact, you will get an automatic score, be it the face, be it the body. But at the moment, with a minute gone in this second round, it's been a good start for Baryshnikova. Haby tries again with that push kick. A bit of a stalemate has enveloped here. Good shot from the Russian, tries with the back leg turning kick. But Haby's cover game has been good.
Shin guard didn't actually protect her from much. I think she thought the shin guard had moved, and if she went down, it was actually in the right place. So that was that's a painful one for the Frenchwoman.
It's painful because she takes a kyungo for that, because she's taking time out just to pretend to move her shin guard. There's a head kick though, almost scoring. There's one in return from the Russian. Well, that's what happens when you reach in for the head kick. You leave yourself open on one leg, and she ended up on her back, and she's now 6 points down.
That was a 4-pointer there from Baryshnikova with the kyungo as well. And Niare really has it all to do. There's another point. And Baryshnikova, well, both athletes undoubtedly took it easy in their quarterfinal, knew that they were going to be rolling into each other here. And this is exactly why Baryshnikova looking very good indeed as we're coming towards the close of the second.
But it shows you how quickly it can change, Adrian. It's just a kyungo and a kick, and you're now, you know, 7 points down. Haby now has to attack, and she almost decks it there. And again, the true fighter's instinct. Haby was charging after her, ready to just volley her out of the ring there, but the Russian mercifully gets to her feet.
Well, what a round that was for Anastasiia Baryshnikova. She has moved way ahead. These two fought in the semi-final of the World Grand Prix Finals in Mexico last year, which was the biggest event on the Taekwondo World Tour last year. And Niare won by 11 points to 3.
Is the biggest kick of them all. Just chops that round the corner, right in the jaw. As you said, that the form carried on from the Grand Prix. Well, it's been totally overturned by that shot. And that's a real beauty. Haby almost scored, tries to kick again, leaves herself open, bang.
Yeah, what a kick and what a put down. Strange this sport though, isn't it? We're watching this, Baryšnikova's all over her opponent, and it was only 4 or 5 months ago, yeah, he won by 11 points to 3 in Mexico. You know, sometimes the momentum and you know, there's so many different parameters that go into it.
Absolutely, it's like any sport, like a football match or a tennis match. 1 week you'll win, the next week someone else could win, and it's just, if you have that, you're on form at that moment, you've got your timing right. And the thing that's making the difference is the movement of Baryshnikova. Haby was very close to scoring that headshot. She then stood still and couldn't find the Russian. Looked for her, she was gone. By the time she found her, she had a foot in her face and she was on the mat.
Another point there for Baryshnikova, only just over the threshold. Referee implores them to fight, even though Baryshnikova is trying to show that her shin guard has moved. She's going to carry on. There might be an 8-point difference, but that can be eaten up very, very quickly. We've seen that many times already.
The thing about Haby at the moment is she's kicking straight off of the spot. If you watch her front foot, she doesn't move it too much. She's just trying to kick straight in. What she's got to do is try and cover distance, because Baryšnikova's a mover, and that's the difference there. Just throws the kick off the spot, the Russian moves away, and it's going to be, if that's the tactic that Haby has got, you can see that the Russian's going to progress.
Yeah. Well, we're into the final minute, and it looks like, well, it looks like pretty much the last bout we saw where Ferreira totally ran out of ideas, and I think Niare here is just looking a little bit lost, isn't
Yeah,
she? She's tried everything.
Yeah.
She came out attacking, all guns blazing in the first.
Yep.
And here she is. She's actually thinking, well, what can I try?
Yep, she walks into another one. She's trying to get a headshot, but she's going to take a jungle. She's holding on the way through. Shakes the head as you talk about the body language of competition. It's a forlorn look to her coach as well to say, what do I do? She takes a shot. I think that would have
That'll
been
be
taken
wiped off, I think, yeah.
You would hope so.
Oh, it isn't. Well, that's unfortunate refereeing, because actually the Calio was certainly called before the point was scored.
Yep, I agree with you. Doesn't make too much of a difference here if we get into the closing stages of this one. And what a performance from Baryshnikova. She might concede the odd point at the end of this one, but she's earned this brilliant performance from the Russian.
Absolutely. She has been class all the way through, and Niare has run out of ideas here. You can see she's tired. She's been working hard. She's virtually walking off. She's seen the clock go down. And Baryshnikova, the world number 4, is going to progress through. I said at the top of the show we had 4 of the top 5 in the world here. Well, one of those has qualified through the final against a local Azeri athlete. Baryshnikova, she saved herself in the quarterfinal, as did Niare, but it's Baryshnikova who wins this bout comfortably, and she will be getting either a gold or silver medal from this event. She wins by 11 points to 3.
And this victory, a huge statement from Baryshnikova. She was on the verge a couple of times. This was the head kick attempt from the French fighter. It's a real turning point from the Russian. And this one here, she steps round, the footwork seals the deal. That's a great chop kick. She's in trouble here, sweeps round the back of the French fighter. It's the footwork that put her in position.